We're a stalemate now, what? So we have to be a little bit careful about that, and we have to think about, be able to talk about your business, of course, but be brief. Don't go on and on. Say a little bit and say, so that's a little bit about me. What do you do? Tell me more. And oftentimes, most of the time, usually the turn the table. Any other networking stories, Brian?
Well, I think the other key, just kind of play up on what Jim said, is make sure you sit there and really listen to what they say. As you ask one open-ended question, it should lead to others. And you can't necessarily have those all scripted, but a really good discipline of networking is listening to what they say and then looking for areas where you can ask other questions.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. If you're not paying attention, you're going to miss the opportunity to carry on the conversation and learn more about your business. Betsy?
Well, and this sounds kind of contrary, and I don't mean it to sound that way, but okay, so you're engaged in a conversation, it's going well, and you are aware that you do want to meet other people. Are there nice ways or good ways to make a good exit and go to the next person?
That is a great question, yes. And that can easily happen. You can really, you get in a great conversation with somebody, gosh, you made a connection somehow. Magically, you come to this networking event, found the client of your dreams, okay? And you just don't want to let go. But one of the reasons that we have the goal, when my hand hits the door and I say one of the reasons we have the goal is because if that's the first person, I'm never going to get near my goal. So disengaging is also a little bit of an important thing, as Betsy says. So the easy way to, well, I don't know if it's easy 100%, but I guess the best way to do it, I believe, is to be open and honest and say, look, gosh, this has been great meeting you. I'm glad that we have this connection. I will definitely follow up with you and call you and Tuesday or what have you. But I know that, I'm sure that like me, you're here to meet other people and network further. So I'm going to let you go. And, I really look forward to talking to you next week. Thanks. How does that sound?
I like the like me part. You're here to.
Yeah, make them feel like, make me feel that way, but remind them, there's something more here that I could perhaps do.
Because when you're talking with someone and their eyes are scanning, it's not a good thing. I mean, you just feel completely marginalized.
Time to revise your approach a little bit.
Hey, Jerry, can I get?
Let's jump in.
One of the experience, I work into a lot is walking, I like to call it like the dance and walking into a networking event and everyone's just sitting around or standing around looking at each other and no one's taking that first step and asking someone to dance. I've been in situations and I make myself the guy that's going to ask the first person to dance. You want to kind of loosen up the party a little bit.
This is amazing how this is like dating.
I just wanted that exit question, that's a real key thing, and I studied that a lot because graceful exit sometimes can be awkward. So I'm thinking, a good question as I tell people, hey, it's been great talking to you, just like you said. I want to circulate a little bit more. Before I go, is there anything that I should be looking for if I want to refer business to you? What should I be looking for?
Yeah. Well, that could be very good, although it could also lead to a much more. But a good concept. Anyway,
I found a couple of times if you're talking to someone that you kind of know is alone and you see someone else, another way to do it that is to say, do you know Jerry? Because Jerry's kind of standing there and you see that and you can say, do you know Jerry? Can I introduce you to Jerry?
Wow, that's great.
And then you take them with you and then you can kind of have those two talking and you can leave the conversation.
You touch that.
That's right. And I introduce you to my friends.
Great. Thank you.
And on the flip side of that, I was thinking the same thing, but I've done in the past because I didn't know anybody. I would say, do you know anybody else here? I mean, can you introduce me to anybody else? And they'll be like, yeah, I know John. Come up here, we'll talk to John. And then remember that person.
Oh, that's another great one. Yeah.
And you don't know anybody, it's kind of a...
We should write these down.
All right, so some great tips. That's a good way to disengage.